Final day at Denbigh, and this is our first broadcast for the day. And we have the amazing Maxine Brown. How many years now been asking to get you on since we started?
We both have very busy schedules. I think that is what has been causing it.
Okay, so if then tell the people who Maxine is. I know Maxine from the Cardi videos. You and Khalil and Dr. Young are the three people on those videos that got me and Trudy a lot of information on starting the goat farm. And ever since we start iGoat chat, you know I've been bugging you. Come on, because the three people that inspired us and give us a valuable information. We had two of them, and you're the missing piece. And finally, you're here.
So it's complete now.
It's complete now. So tell the people who you are and what you do for RADA.
Okay. Well, good day, everyone. My name is Maxine Brown. I'm the senior livestock specialist at RADA. And a part of my duty is to ensure that farmers are getting all the technical information that they need to
Yeah.
make their farming enterprise successful. We tend to focus a lot of small ruminants because that is really the main issue
Yes.
where farmers are concerned trying to build that industry because we're importing so much meat. But we also assist broiler farmers, layer farmers, pig farmers,
Okay.
cattle farmers, and you have some farmers who are specializing in livestock such as quail and ducks and
Oh.
turkeys. So it's a wide portfolio.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
So
And
anything livestock.
exactly, and that is why I even have here my officer with me. She's the officer for Clarendon, my
Okay.
trusted sidekick,
Oh.
because with so many animals that we have to focus
Yeah,
on,
so, yeah, you
it's
need-
quite
you
a
need to
lot
be on
for
the
just
spot.
one individual. So
Yes, they're trying to get you another mic because the information you're about to give is so valuable. We're trying to get it out to as many sources as possible.
not a problem.
Oh, we gotta do that too. This is my main mic for my broadcast, Khalil. I don't know what you want us to do. If you want bigger setup, you should provide us with more equipment. Okay. All right.
But
So
we're flexible, so we work. With
yeah,
it.
we'll work with it. What is the big initiative for RADA this year?
Okay, so for this year, we're pushing the initiative that the government is trying to do, and it's because we're importing a lot of small ruminant meat. It's an open secret now
Yeah.
that we're only producing probably 30% of the small ruminant meat that we consume, and what we're importing is really mutton and it's really goat meat that we want.
Okay.
So we really have to be trying to say, well, you know what? I know sometimes we seem to be eating off the goat faster than we're producing it.
Yeah.
But we really need to have a program to expand the population of small ruminants.
That's
The
true.
government have started it off by saying that yes, they're launching their national small ruminant program,
Yeah.
and you'd have heard a lot about it because of the AI component, because
Yes.
everybody's into genetics these
Yeah,
days.
there's a lot of AI kids here.
Exactly, because we-
offsprings here.
Because we know that our goat, we love it so much, we want them to be bigger
Yes.
and better,
Bigger,
get
longer,
more
taller.
meat.
Yep. Yep.
Sometimes we're only getting bone and gravy, but we want some meat on the plate, so we do that. So the program will take care of the genetics and nutrition and all of that, but we also have to support it.
Yes.
So in RADA, we also get funding from the government to do some of the other small initiatives as well.
Okay.
So we sometimes assist farmers in getting first aid kit for their animals. A lot
First
of
aid kit.
first aid kit.
What's in the first aid kit?
These are items that farmers need to have to take care of their animal. When the animal gets a cut, you need to have something to can dress the cut. You need
Yeah.
to have your iodine. You need to have your alcohol. You need to have your screwworm paraphernalia.
Okay.
And I see HiPro have the Ecto line, which is the only compound now that I see on the market
That
that
really
can
works.
really deal with the screwworm. So you
Yeah.
should have that. You should have your gauze, your disposable gloves. If you're going to have,
Yes.
I mean, if you're into goat production, kids are going to be born at different times.
Yeah.
You need to have your iodine to treat the navel, because
Yes.
I find a lot of farmers are losing animals to not treating the navel.
It's true.
It gets screwworm,
Yeah.
they get tetanus.
Yes.
You understand? So these are simple things that we really shouldn't be happening. We shouldn't have happening to the animals.
So hold on. So how many of these kits you guys prepare, and who actually prepare them?
Well, to be honest, we only get $10 million per year.
Yeah.
When you think about 10 million, it sounds a lot, but it has to be divided into 13 parishes. And then by the time you start dividing it again, it tends to be a bit small. We have been able to do probably over 400 kits to distribute to farmers Every year we try to tackle different things. This year we are also trying to give funds to strengthen farmers' infrastructure because you need proper housing.
Yeah.
If the animals are not comfortable, then
Mhm.
they are not going to be producing as they should, and you want to protect them from stray dogs and we know the other individuals that are, you know,
Yeah,
interfering with
there's
them
a
as well.
four-legged dogs, and then there's the
Like,
two-legged dogs.
so
One second. This is my camera, bro. You gotta watch it.
so
Okay.
when we give them the support is to strengthen, like, make the roof, strengthen
Mhm.
the roof,
Yeah.
or the enclosure, because we don't want them to be exposed to extreme weather conditions.
Yes.
A lot of persons will recognize that this can affect animals, extreme weather conditions. They speak about goats not drinking water, and if you watch animals when it is very hot and they have the opportunity to move, they will
Yes.
find shade. They are not going to be eating when it's hot.
Yep.
They are going to be eating when it is cooler. Just
Cool.
like
Yeah.
us, we drink a
Mhm.
lot when it is hot, and
Yeah.
it's the same thing with animals. So we give them the first aid kit, we give them infrastructure support. We try to help persons also with animals. We put breeding books in different communities, and the last year we were able to do a little AI as well, because we know that that is a thing now that is catching on.
So how many straws you guys have access to for your AI program?
Well, for RADA, we had access to 100 straws that were donated by Dairy Board.
Okay.
And so we're working with the national program. The national program is the one that is, I think, it's probably going to have more than, and I don't want to go quoting them, but I know they said 5,000 farmers, 5,000, 6,000 farmers would benefit from it. So you can start calculating quite a number of straws that they'll be bringing in. But it's also involved bringing in live animals. It's going to be involved in terms of from a nutritional perspective, which is what we do at RADA too. So anything the national program is doing, we're doing it to support it. So we train farmers as well. It started with HiPro, training farmers about silage production. We have continued it whenever we get funding. We recognize that the climatic conditions that we're having, you're either going to be having very hot climate and drought, or you're going to be having a lot of rain. Now, if any of these extremes come, the animals are going to be at a disadvantage if you can't feed them. It
Yes.
doesn't matter the genetics of the animal. It doesn't matter how the housing, how beautiful it is or strong it
That's
is.
true.
If you
Yes.
cannot feed the animals, it makes no
No
sense,
sense. Yeah.
right? So we have been doing quite a bit of that. Like I said, we bring animals in the parish.
Yeah.
We try to also introduce them to other entities that can support them, to like business entities, the banks. I know insurance is a big thing. I mean, generally the government is working on that, not just
Okay,
RADA.
so let's talk about the challenges that RADA has been facing. I got my own challenges with RADA, and I think the number one challenge I see that I face is actual staffing. I think you guys are short on.
Well, let me just say that.
1 second. Remember,
Mhm.
this is the main mic. Don't let Khalil and his little thing out here. Don't let the people hear what you have to say.
Okay, so let me just say that first of all, RADA was established in 1990.
Yeah, in 1990, it's
Exactly,
a young
right?
agency.
And then you have extension officers who used to try to service both livestock farmers and crop farmers. So they call them general
Yes,
extension officers.
yes.
But we recognize that farming has been expanding. There are a lot of things that are coming on board. You start having irrigation,
Technologies.
exactly,
Yeah,
greenhouse
that's true.
production.
Yeah.
There's a lot just for one person. The pests and disease that are affecting
Yeah.
crops. So it is only in 2010 that we actually got livestock officers on board. And they have been doing a tremendous job in the parishes.
Hmm.
It's difficult because you remember I listed out all these categories of farmers. So it's difficult trying to reach everybody all at once. We
Yeah.
try to encourage farmers to work in groups because it's easier to work with
Clusters.
groups. But
I think
Jamaica,
clusters is a new thing. Everybody's talking about creating clusters.
exactly.
Yeah.
So sometimes they work well together, sometimes it
They don't.
doesn't
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
But that is how we have been trying to target them.
Okay.
And so, yes, staffing is a problem, and resources is a problem too. Remember, we are grateful for the funding, but $10 million last year and $10 million this year buy less
Yes.
items,
Yes, it's true.
right? But
That's
we
true.
try to make it stretch as much as possible. We also collaborate with international institutions. So right now we're on a program with Langston University,
Hmm.
and what they have been doing for us is that they have provided us with funding to create a forage geodatabase. So what we're going to be doing is going across the island in the different ecological zones, identifying the forages that grow there, to take soil analysis, do
Yes.
analysis of the forages, and so at the end and GPS location and pictures of it. At the end of the day, we are going to be able to tell you in each parish, what are the different forages that you find, what soil type they grow in, and what are the potential nutritional content
I'm
of these
volunteering Cabra Ranch
forages.
pasture for testing.
You should, because it's going to be of benefit
Yeah.
to you and to all the
No,
farmers
I
when we're
want it to
finished.
benefit everybody. But the people in my region, I want them to know what it is. So I have a pasture that's, I kind of feel like we manage it well. We
Okay.
use it in rotational grazing. But I think it will be a good sample to say this: if you do this type of grazing, this is what you have in this region.
And we're taking it a bit further. We're introducing a little bit more technology as well,
Yeah,
too, because Langston again has developed what they call the Langston Interactive Nutrition Calculator.
yeah,
And that now we're going to be taking samples as well. Once we get the breakdown of the forages that you have on your farm,
yes.
you plug that into your computer and it can tell you how much of each forages that you need to mix. And as a matter of fact, what they have been noticing is that some of us, we have been mixing so many things together that are not necessary,
Yep.
and that is because we're not aware of the nutrients in each of
In
the
each of them,
items.
yes.
So we're just throwing things
We're throwing
together,
everything
hoping
in there,
that with the blend,
throwing in what the goats like.
exactly, and we feel like we're
Yeah,
wasting money, so to speak. So my officer here, Miss Watson, is the one that has been going around on the pilot project,
yeah.
especially for the link to collect the data, collect the forages, make sure it is getting
So
analyzed.
who in St. Mary? Because I would love for them to come collect.
Well, all the
Yeah.
livestock officers are
So
going
I
to
think
be
it's
involved.
Edwards in my ear. I gotta
Yes,
call him.
Mr. Jeffrey Edwards.
Yeah, I gotta link him and tell him to come. But how are they taking the samples? They just come with scissors and cut out a bunch in different areas.
No, well, they have their technique in terms of when you're going to be collecting forages, you carry a quadrat, you cut the
Yeah,
forages
yeah.
in that area, do your
Because
composite.
we did it already, right, Khalil?
Also, you're pretending as if you don't know how it's done. But
No,
yes,
but I want to know how they're gonna do it because
it's the
doesn't mean
same way.
yeah,
It's sample collection, and sample collection is standardized across the board wherever
yeah.
you go.
Okay,
Right? So that is it's a very good
that's a
initiative.
big deal.
And let me tell you what
For me, it's a big deal.
exactly what I'm most excited about with small ruminants is that it's for the first time that I've seen all entities coming together working on the same thing at the same time. In the past, you'd have had a CARD that would have done a project,
Yeah,
a FAO would have done a project, the ministry one year might have done something, rather when we do something as well. But now I realize that everybody, HiPro, Caribbean Broilers, the
wow.
ministry,
Everybody's
RADA,
on board.
Small Ruminant Association, farmers, everybody getting on board to recognize that yes, this industry need all hands on
And then,
deck, and we have to be tackling each area where there's a gap to make sure we fill that gap and close that gap,
okay,
because everybody love our Jamaican curry goat.
yes.
And we are also recognizing that other islands in the Caribbean sometimes are coming to us looking for animals to purchase.
Oh no, we know that. That's a big deal. We get
Right?
the calls every day.
So we can
We
barely
get the
even find animals for
calls.
ourselves. And so if we really had a robust industry, we could be selling semen as well.
We could be the hub for genetics for the
Exactly.
region, knowing
Exactly.
that they're closer to us, and we may have a different governing system
And we have
or
the
our
experience.
and our economic relationship with the region makes it easier
Because even
for us
right
to do business.
Right, because even right now we have a team from the Bahamas coming here,
Yeah,
and they're trying to check out our poultry industry because they want to, probably try to build
yeah,
their
build
poultry
their
industry. So
poultry
they're
industry.
leaning on our experience,
And Jamaica has a
wealth of
world
experience.
class poultry
Exactly,
industry.
exactly.
That I know. Can we get like up there with the goats and sheep? Yeah, that I know. I travel the world and I tout Jamaica poultry industry all the time because I we can back it up. I'm like, okay, you don't believe me? Go to Jamaica and see for yourself. Everybody in Jamaica that raise chicken can put it in the bag the same way. They get the chicken from birth, when it comes to go into the bag, and everybody knows everything. What feed, how much feed, all the way
Exactly.
to how it goes in the bag. It's the same way.
Exactly. So, like I said, these are some of the challenges in terms of human resources, financial resources, but we're finding ways around it.
Yes.
Another one sometimes too is the farmers themselves.
Yeah. It's true.
Believe it or not.
Oh no, we talked about that yesterday.
Because
Everybody got their own challenges, and sometimes we got in get in our own way
exactly.
yeah,
Sometimes farmers are stuck in doing a
in the
thing apart. Exactly.
old
And
ideas, old way of doing things, and they're hesitant to try something new. But
Exactly.
people, the outliers, or people who like to take risks like myself, Mr. Bro, you like, we'll do it for them and show them the results, and hopefully they will get on board and do it themselves. I have no qualms about trying new ideas ourselves and showing farmers who are reluctant to try new ideas. We'll
But
do it for them.
but I must say that they're coming on board. It's just that because we're so anxious to move fast because we're realizing that the international
Oh yeah,
world is
it's
moving
moving ahead
ahead.
and leaving us behind.
Exactly.
If we
So
don't step up our game, we'll be left behind.
we're just
Yeah.
encouraging farmers when the officers are giving you advice. It's not to make your enterprise worse. It's
No.
to make it better.
Better, more efficient, more productive.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
Exactly.
with the application of new technology and new procedures, new techniques,
And
we'll get more efficient.
I don't want to leave here without emphasizing record keeping, because that is the first thing that you need to have when you're going into farming,
You
into
can't manage what
production.
you don't know.
Exactly. And a lot of persons are thinking that they can't keep the information in your head. You Unless you plan to be in it just for a couple weeks.
Yes, it's true. Once you
Right?
get into once you get into the numbers, 50, 60
Exactly.
animals, you
But even
can
even less than that,
even
and you're
less
not
than
going
it.
to remember
You're not
because
gonna
after
remember.
the first year or two, you can remember the information on each goat,
That
how
happened
much
to
they
me.
weighed.
That once when we just started, I could remember all of them. And now I rely on
The
my
records.
records and my assistant
And we're
to
telling
say,
persons,
yo,
yeah, and we're telling persons, don't worry about the analysis. We can help you to do the analysis, but we have to have something to analyze.
yes, you
You
have to
can't,
have data.
you can't have us trying to help you to expand your operation or to make your operation more
Yes,
efficient, and you have no clue
it's
what
true.
you have there, what you're
Yeah,
doing.
you have to collect data in order to assess it and make adjustment. And don't be scared to make the adjustment.
And rather have made it easy for the farmers. We have developed the record keeping book. So all you have to
Yeah,
do is just enter your
very data.
data in the
Yeah,
different categories. And if
yeah,
you need assistance, you call your rather livestock officer. Let them assist you with tagging your animal, because to record your
yes.
data, you first have to tag
Tag
your
the
animal.
animals. Yeah, you
And
got
at
to know
HiPro, you can get your ear
identification
tag
system.
pliers
Yeah.
with your tag, your blank tags, your number tags,
Yes.
right? You also have your tattoo kit. Some persons may not like it.
Like,
Some persons use both.
yeah,
Some
it's true.
persons use the ear tag and they put a little tattoo number somewhere on the animal that
Yeah.
nobody knows about
Yeah, and
as a little
that's
backup.
also a security feature,
Exactly.
that in case somebody steal your
And you
animal,
find it
you find
alive.
it alive, or even if you find it in the shop, you know
And even if a
that
year later you find
if
it,
yes,
that tattoo mark will still be there.
exactly. And what we do on Cabra, every goat we sell, we always record the tag number also,
Exactly.
and so we know who gets that tag number.
And it's a part of traceability for
Traceability.
food safety. That is
Yeah,
what is killing us.
because our returning customers, we always say to them, the female you have before is what color tag, what number tag, because we're
Exactly.
not gonna sell you something that if we're selling you a buck now, we're not gonna sell you her brother. So the partner record keeping goes in your sales, your economy, the economics of it too.
And sometimes that is what they don't recognize, that it influences trade.
Yes,
When you're trying to find markets, if you're not doing these simple
it
practices on
is.
your farm,
Mhm.
then you'll find that is where you're not able to attract markets.
Exactly.
And so when we tell them to keep records, they're just thinking of it as, oh, it's just additional work right now and you can't be bothered. But you don't know you're sabotaging yourself
It's true.
in the long run and
Because even
sabotaging
if
Jamaica.
you are a poultry farmer and you don't keep good records, and you have a big vendor and something happens with a batch,
Exactly.
you can trace it back. And if they come to you and say, okay, we have a problem over here with the animals the chickens that were delivered on this date, you as the producer should be able to go back and say, you know what, we sent them 50 and chickens, whole chickens. But we processed 75. Where did the other 25 go? We need to recall everything, and we need to get testing done in here to find out what's wrong.
And
But if you don't have that record, you're not gonna know.
And let me tell you another story. There was a lady who sold her chickens. She said when they normally deliver it to the buyer, they
Yeah.
will put it in the freezer right away and
Mhm.
make sure everything is operating.
Yeah.
When she went there the last time, there was a different person there. Maybe they didn't put it in the freezer as they
As they
should,
should, yes.
but because she doesn't have records to show
Mhm.
how she packages and how she transports and
Yeah.
all of those things,
Yes.
she suffered the loss because they wouldn't pay for the
Exactly.
chicken when it's spoiled.
Wow.
So I mean, it affects you all different ways if you don't maintain the records. So
Yeah,
it
in
is.
our milk production, milk is going out, records, we record the animals that produce the milk, how much milk they produce, and when the milk is getting shipped out, pictures and video of the shipment, and sign a document, because more than one occasion, when it gets to the other end, somebody leave it out on a counter. Somebody don't tell somebody, say, yo, this is fresh milk, it needs to go into
So
the
you have to
fridge.
show from your end
From
that
my
you
end,
have done everything
this
that you
is
need
what
to
I
do.
did.
Exactly. So
This,
anything
yeah.
that happened
And
after
after
that,
that, it's not
it's
my
on the company, the
responsibility,
other
it's on me.
company.
Yeah. Yeah,
Exactly.
and we've
Right.
had that more than once.
And we
It's,
also have to remember that different things affect the animals.
yes.
So genetics is one.
Genet, yes.
But if it was born a twin or a
Yeah,
triplet or
yeah.
a single,
Hmm.
then that's another influence on the animal. And if it
Animal
was
growth,
born
yeah.
from a young female or old female,
Yes.
because a lot of persons are eyeballing it, and I don't know
Oh,
how they
that's the
really
funny thing. We
survive.
have a spreadsheet that tells us. Once you put the information in, it gives us an index system. But then it also rates the animal based on if it's a single, twin, or triplet.
Exactly.
So a twin could look smaller,
Oh,
have
you you
less
you you
weight,
you, you
but
understand.
it's a higher performance animal because it's fighting for milk.
Exactly.
It's a part of a twin or part of a triplet. Yeah, and the single animal that only have a mother twin by itself is growing faster and looking like Hulk, but it doesn't mean it's the best performing animal in the lot.
Exactly. And then what happens now is that sometimes you may find you're selling your best animal in the meat market.
Yes, it's true.
And that
Hmm.
is hindering now our plans to say, well, let Jamaica, build a good and strong
Oh yeah,
small ruminant industry.
yeah, it's
So
true.
I am encouraging all farmers, work
Yes,
along with your other officers, work along with the other stakeholders. We're all in it together. We want Jamaica to be successful. We want you to be
yes.
successful.
We want
Right? It's
the
not
agricultural sector to grow, and the part of it that we're in will play our part in
exactly.
moving the needle forward, trying to get more people involved in a positive way.
And I want to say too that we are not saying we have all the answers.
Yeah.
We appreciate farmers who can come and give recommendations
Yes.
and suggestions.
Hmm.
Sometimes you may give a suggestion, we can't take it on right away because it may involve other actions that have to take place
Yes.
for it to occur. But remember, we're all in it together.
It's true.
Sometimes you may hear of a technology that you
Yes.
think that we could implement. Maybe you think of an approach
That
that
we should take.
we should
Yeah.
take.
Hmm.
So
Sharing
we're
information.
all ears for you.
Sharing is caring. Share the
Exactly.
information. Have a discussion about it. I think people should try to participate in these type of discussions all the time, because you may have an idea that nobody actually
Exactly.
thought about it, or you may have a perspective that nobody said, "Oh, we didn't look at it that way," and it will change everything or help improve things.
And networking too, because
Yeah.
being here at Denbigh, I've identified a company that have a security system, they say, for small ruminants.
Yes.
So I'll be speaking with them further to look at that device
Yes.
to see if it is something that can be introduced
Oh,
in the
that would
small
be
ruminant
great.
industry.
Yeah,
So
because when small farmers, small ruminant industry, the goat is the most. Uh,
sought after animal.
yeah, they're like any goat farmers are the biggest victims of radial arson.
Exactly. And because the meat is in such demand,
Yes,
it is sold before they even come for it.
yes, of course. Before them come take it, them have money for buy it. Yeah,
Exactly.
it's true.
So I mean,
Yeah.
we love our small ruminants. We love the meat. We love the curry goat,
Oh yeah,
right?
and
And
the
so
value added stuff before you leave, you gotta go try.
sorry. So
Yeah.
let me just say too that one of the things that we have been promoting as well is the value added aspect of it, especially goat milk, because we have heard persons saying that we are not maximizing the potential of our goats here.
Ah, yes,
Because
it's true.
if we were investing in dairy goats, you're getting the milk from it. The milk can do so many things.
So many
You can do
things.
flavored milk. You can do the milk as
Yes,
is,
yes.
right? You can make your cheese, your
Can do
yogurt,
cheese, lotion, yogurt.
ice cream. My
We,
favorite
we
when you
have
start to
we have
flavor
all
it.
of them over there right now.
Anybody doing goat ice cream, goat milk ice cream, make sure to do
Not
some
yet, but we
chocolate.
coming. Get gelato ice cream. It's coming. It's
Chocolate is
coming.
my favorite, so please make sure
Yes.
you add that
So
flavor
if
in
you're
there.
at MD right now, come to the Smart Ruminants Lounge where Maxine's are talking to us, and you can sample all this cheese, lotion. What else you got? Yogurt. We got all that over here.
Because you're tapping into the health sector,
Yes.
and you're tapping into the cosmetic center, the
Center.
beauty
Yes.
world, and those
Beauty.
are big
Yeah. Big,
business
big, big
these
business.
days.
Yes.
And remember, once you milk your animal, when you're going to cull that animal is going to go in the curry market.
Yes.
And if your goat have a buck, you're going to be selling that,
Oh
so you're
yeah,
still be making money.
yeah. You
You know,
can.
you're praying that
You
they
definitely got
have
to
the
breed the
kid.
goat to get the milk. And so
Exactly.
you're gonna get a lot of kids, and you
Exactly.
can keep replacement those or all those bucks. You can't have all of them, so you gotta sell them. So that's where you're either genetics or you're curry.
So I'm encouraging persons. We're not saying not to do the meat goat,
Yeah.
but we also want to capitalize on the dairy part of it. You
Yes.
know, we don't want anything to escape us. Once we're in goat, we're going hard,
Hard.
we're going full time, we're
Full.
going into everything about goats.
Yes.
So I am happy to see that your farm has been pushing the whole goat milk,
Oh
and
yeah.
you know, have a few other farmers,
Yes.
and we're going to try and see how best we can get support
Yep.
for that as well internationally, because even Langston University, that is their specialized area, it's really dairy goats,
Yes.
right?
Oh wow.
So we will see how best we can make some linkages, because we have to go
Oh no.
international too, you know.
I will host. I always see this happening all the time. I know we have a farm, and I always wish I could get like a student from one of those colleges or those universities that will
Okay,
come and participate and share their
exactly,
research, their ideas with us, and
exactly,
have an understanding of what we're doing and let us know how we can improve, or they may see something that they're interested in researching and developing over here. So if they want to send somebody down, we're willing to
that
host
is
them and have them participate in our program.
that is important, and I think that is how we have to be creating the
Yes.
linkages
Yes.
externally.
Yep.
And they are a university, so you
Yeah.
know they have a lot of data,
They have data. That's what they do.
so we don't have to
Yeah.
make those mistakes. They have
Yeah.
made those mistakes already, have
Exactly.
corrected it, and
Yeah.
we're taking the corrected version.
Yeah. And they do so much research and collect data that they can tell you all the steps
Exactly,
along the way and what can happen, what won't happen. Yeah. So
exactly.
we'd love to have them. If that really gonna work with you guys, tell them you have a
Partners that.
partner that will have a student, two students that participate in our development.
And let me just speak one little quick minute about the leather craft, because
Yes.
I tell you that's an industry. We
And there.
have persons here who are showcasing their leather craft.
Yes.
Mr. Myers,
Yes.
who has been doing leather craft, and let me tell you, I have slippers that he has made.
Yeah.
It's the strongest spirit. It's like I can't finish it.
There you go.
So
There you
it's
go.
good quality slippers that is made from leather craft, and there are other things that you can make from leather too.
Yeah,
You know, your gloves.
we did
You
a
know,
whole show on value added products from goat, the different revenues. And people were shocked to know they never think about these things. Down to the poo, down to the droppings.
and let me tell you, and that is why you tap into a lot of things, you know, because now we're going into tourism sector, because you know the government has been speaking a lot about having authentic Jamaican
Jamaican
things selling
experience.
to tourists.
Yes.
So your key rings, your leather product. I have somebody brought something back from me from Cuba. It was a model of the old cars,
Yeah.
and it's made from leather.
There you go.
So we could have been doing that too, you know,
Yeah.
crafting using a lot of leather things. You know, created little models of goat from leather,
Oh yeah.
that sort of things,
And,
you know.
and,
And right,
and
Jamaica on it, Jamaica curry goat.
we know that we're processing a lot of goats in Jamaica. We know that,
Exactly.
right? So
So the
the
skin.
skins can be accent, but furniture can
Exactly.
be shoes, slippers.
Anything you
It
want
can
it to
be
be.
jewelry.
I tell you.
Yeah,
So let me tell you, man, small woman, I don't think there's anything that on that goat that goes to waste. Even the teeth, I swear we can polish
we
it
can do
and
something
make
with it.
chain.
Of course, we can turn that into a nice pendant.
Exactly.
Yeah. The only thing we're gonna start sampling the man and figure
That
out how
is
we can
it.
sell that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, because it's there and people need to understand that we did the HiPro presentation yesterday, and we were explaining to the people that a successful, a good business, you can get 7, 8 revenue streams from it.
Exactly.
You just establish them one by one and
Remember,
just
even
build
the
up.
waste of the goat, you know, is
Yes,
money,
money. Yep.
right? You use it to make compost,
Yes,
sell it to some persons who are planting
yep.
vegetables, or put it in your forage bank.
Yes, put it back in your forage bag, yeah, and
Exactly.
you can produce way more forage because of that.
Exactly. So,
Yeah,
like I said, nothing on that animal goes to waste.
it's true.
So it's a good animal. Remember to, you know, when they had COVID and the country was locked down, the goat farmers didn't have to worry. You know,
No.
we have all the grasses and
Yeah,
the
everything we
foragings
need.
here to feed
Yeah,
the animal.
good farmers were
You don't
like,
have to worry
they were
about
making
grades.
jokes about it. I remember there's one video and guy said he was checking this girl and the girl said him not drive this, him not drive, him taking money and go buy goats and he said, oh well, you like me now? He's like, one
Exactly.
of those goats is $50,000. Oh, you like me
Exactly.
now? Yeah. So yeah, the goat business is thriving
Hmm.
thanks to you guys' constant, consistent push. So we'll play whatever part we can play because we're in the sector and we want to see it move forward. I want to thank you again, Maxine. Finally, you sitting having a conversation with us, and don't be a stranger. You can come back here anytime. Any initiative you have,
Okay.
just give us a link, and we'll give you the platform to present it to the people.
Okay, and thank you for the opportunity. And let me just say thanks to all the livestock officers as well, because sometimes their hard work. You hear all the complaints at time,
Yeah,
and when persons have something good happening, sometimes they don't speak about it much.
that's
It
true.
is when we have the problem we start to go and tell everybody the problem.
Yes.
So I want to thank the officers for really
Yeah,
keeping up, with the livestock sector, motivating the farmers, and even self-motivating
it's true.
as well to tackle the
Yeah,
industry.
and I think they because they love the sector, I love the agricultural business. They do it.
And I want to thank all the other stakeholders too, because
Yes.
it's not a one person
No,
team,
it ain't.
right? It's all of us working together.
If
So
we all
thanks.
come together, we can do great
So
things.
thanks to the stakeholders, and thanks to you for giving
Yes.
us the airtime to be showcasing some of the things that we are doing. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome, and thank you guys too. Thanks for HiPro, our partner. Thanks to all the other stakeholders in this space, Small Ruminants Association, everybody for making this weekend overall a success. And we're gonna try to get as many people as we can today on the iGo chat to explain or showcase what they've been doing, or even if
Exactly.
there are winners in the animal competition, to just come and give a smile and pick up everybody. But thanks
Okay.
again, Maxine.
Thank
We'll
you,
talk
sir.
soon. All right, folks. So we're gonna take a pause to the next guest. Thank you again, Maxine.
Okay, thank you.